Alright, subject is vocabulary, grade is second, number of minutes is 15, date is 10/2019. The teacher will use sentence level context as clues to the meaning of a word or phrase. ELA Literacy L2.4a. Okay, and the review is the teacher will begin a review of the previous day vocabulary words: avoid, frown, many, comma, right. She might need a list of the vocabulary words and the definitions of them. This will be oral response and the whole group. Questions will be asked after the review. How do you spell this word? What does this word mean? The learner will be asked to spell the word and what the word means. They can either show it or explain it, depending on which way would be better for them to say what the word means. The teacher will use the words in a sentence if the students are having issues remembering what the word means. The purpose of this lesson is for the students to gain knowledge of the meaning of a word or phrase using sentence level context. Yesterday we went over different words for a new word wall. Today we are learning about the meaning of the words or phrase using context clues. Tomorrow we review our lesson from today and then start looking at prefix words. The learner will be able to find the meaning of words or phrases based on sentence level context as a clue. The motivation. So the motivation the teacher will write a few sentences on the board, leaving a blank for the word, and the students will figure it out. Do this a bit. There it goes better. Sentences: my sister was blank yesterday because she got a new puppy. I have happy on here, but I wrote it in quotation or parentheses, just for the teacher will know in the lesson plan to leave that word out. The next one would be: I ate so much food today because I was so hungry. My mom and I went to the store to buy clothes for me. And so just, leave those words that are in parentheses out. So that'll be using a smart board or a whiteboard, markers, list of sentences, oral response, the whole group. After doing this motivation, the teacher will ask questions on how they were able to figure out what word was missing from the sentence. I'm using context clues from the sentence, and the first sentence: my sister was so happy yesterday because she got a puppy. Well, most people would be very happy they got a puppy. And so that would be one context clue they can use. Because she got a puppy, she was happy. The learner will orally be able to identify what the word means based on context clues in the sentence with 85% accuracy with understanding. So for the procedures, the teacher will start on an activity called What a Word. Then they'll explain the materials needed and what the directions are. So let me get this. The students will take turns reading sentences. They will pick one word based on the context clues surrounding the word from the word blank. The teacher will read a sentence with the word that the student has picked and ask the students if that sounds correct or not. If not, what word could work in the place of that word. So you need a worksheet key, the teacher, word bank, pencil, oral response with observation, and the whole group. And this is what it looks like. I actually printed front and back, so. Let me go through one example. I can read through here real fast. Let's see. Okay, this one. It says, when Linda returned to the car with snorkel and mask, Sue blinked up at the sky and saw the clouds going dark. And so from the word bank, you would The only one that would sound like looked would be glanced. So you put that there. So after that, they will start on another activity called meaning exchange. Let's see. Okay. One example is down here. So before they start this, students will be in groups of 2 or 4 depending on the class size. They will be given sentence cards that have underlined words and the same sentences with a blank spot for the word. They will have a group of individual words that can be placed in the empty spot. The learner will place the meaning card on the blank and on the sentence that's in the blank. A blank on the sentence. And read both sentences to see if it makes sense. If not, another student will pick a word. This will continue until all meaning words are used. So that'll be the worksheet with the meaning words, oral response, observation, and groups of 2 to 4. And they could do this individual, but I thought doing a group would be fun because they could take turns, and if one doesn't understand why that word is being used, the other student can help explain it. So the example that they used was, my mom was exhausted from working all day. And underneath it, as a mom was blank from working all day. And you have shy, happy, or very tired. And you would put very tired because happy and shy is not, they're not the same as exhausted, but very tired is. Let's see. Okay, for one of these, it says the dog snarled at the cat, and snarled is underlined, so that'll be blank. And from the options, the only one that would sound close to it would be growled. And you would just do that. Teacher will come around, make sure everyone's doing it okay, properly, and ask any questions if needed. They'll continue to everyone is done. Then for the closure, the teacher will close the lesson by going over the review from the start of the lesson. The teacher will put these words and sentences with a context clue around them. The teacher will explain this is another way to figure out what the word is saying, or meaning, or from what the word is trying to say. And so, it'll be, from the very first of the review, I had avoid, frown, many, comma, and the teacher will use these words and a sentence with context clues around them. So, one sentence would be, my sister frowned at the dog, or it could be, my sister made an upset face at the dog. Okay, and then for the homework, the learner will work on a worksheet at home called Word Discovery. Accidentally printed the key on it too in the back. But one of the examples is, the cruel girl stole her sister's cookie. The options are slow, garden, or mean. Well, only one that could be is mean, because cruel is close to mean. Garden is actually a noun, and slow is describing something. But the girl couldn't steal her sister's cookie if she was slow, because her sister would be able to catch her. Another one would be, a wealthy woman gave money to the poor children. Options are rich, purple, or hungry. Well, you could give money if you're hungry to a child, but it doesn't really make sense there. It'd be, better for, say, the hungry children. But it's saying about the woman. So wealthy is close to rich. Wealthy means, have lots of money, able This is another one. Her mother's ancestors came from France many years ago. Just from the context clues of the sentence, that means it came from France, meaning that her from right now, those in the past. So the only one you can think of is family, because the options are cartoon, family, or lunch. Your lunch didn't come from France many years ago because it would be old and spoiled. And our cartoon couldn't come from France many years ago because we didn't have TV or cartoons like that back in the day. And they're talking about, 50 plus years ago. So that is that. That would be for homework. That'll be the worksheet, be individual. For early finishers, for students that finish early, they will work on making 3 to 5 sentences. These sentences will have a word in it and context clues surrounding it so that other students can figure out what the word means. If there is time remaining, students will be able to read one sentence out loud so we can figure out what the word is and the context clues. So they would leave one word that they're using for the main word and use context clues around it and leave that blank. So we gotta figure out what the word is. And that would be paper, pencil, oral response, individual / whole group. For special needs students, for students with special needs, they will work with a paraprofessional during the lesson while the teacher is teaching the lesson. After, the teacher will help the special needs student or students with one-on-one help using the activities from the lesson. So that'll be worksheets, oral response, observation, group, individual, reanimation. For students who need extra help at the end of the day, the teacher will go over the meaning exchange with the students. I feel like that one will be a bit easier because you can see what word is being taken out. There will be some cards there you can go, figure out which one sounds kind of close to this one. And if the sentence sounds okay with it, then it has to be it. But you gotta make sure the word sounds the same as the other word. Enrichment. The learner will work on the worksheet called Finding the Meaning with Clue Words. And this is it. Printed the key on the back as well, so sorry about that. It says, a typhoon is also called a hurricane. The word called sometimes tells you that the meaning of a typhoon is coming up. That meaning is a hurricane. If you know that a hurricane is a strong storm over water, then you know what a typhoon is the same thing. And so then it has clue words that may help you. That if students are trying to figure out where the context clues are, they can look and see, oh, it's around there. It's around like called, like, including. So it would be Mars is the fourth planet from the sun. It has Mars underlined and is circled and underlined fourth planet from the sun, meaning Mars, out of all the planets, Mars is the fourth one. And then it said James was irritating, meaning he was cross. So you would underline irritated and underline cross and then circle meaning. So these are a little bit harder, but that's for enrichment. And reflection comments is none. So thank you again.